The Imitation of Christ, Book 3, Chapter 12 following. If you bear the cross willingly, it will bear you and lead you to your desired goal, where pain shall be no more. But it will not be in this life. If you bear the cross unwillingly, you make it a burden and load yourself more heavily. But you must needs bear it. If you cast away one cross, you will certainly find another, and perhaps a heavier. Do you think to escape what no mortal man has been able to escape? Which of the saints lived without cross or trial? Even our Lord Jesus Christ was never without sorrow and pain, as long as he lived. Christ must needs suffer, said he, and rise again from the dead, and so enter into his glory. Luke chapter 25, verse 26. Why then do you seek any other road than this royal road of the Holy Cross? The whole life of Christ was a cross and martyrdom. And do you look for rest and selfish pleasure? You are greatly mistaken if you look for anything save to endure trials, for all this mortal life is full of troubles. Job chapter 14, verse 1. And everywhere marked with crosses. The further a man advances in the spiritual life, the heavier and more numerous he finds the crosses, for his ever-deepening love of God makes more bitter the sorrows of his earthly exile. Yet a man who is afflicted in many ways is not without solace and comfort, for he perceives the great benefit to be reaped from the bearing of his cross. For while he bears it with a good will, the whole burden is changed into hope of God's comfort. And the more the body is subdued by affliction, the more is the spirit strengthened by grace within. Sometimes he is so greatly comforted by the desire to suffer adversity for love of conforming to the cross of Christ that he would not wish to be without grief and pain. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 10. For he knows that the more he can suffer for his sake, the more pleasing he will be to God. This desire does not spring from man's own strength, but from the grace of Christ, which can and does effect such great things in the frail frame of man, so that which nature fears and avoids, he boldly meets and loves through ardor of spirit. Man is not by nature inclined to carry the cross, to love the cross, to chasten the body, and bring it into subjection. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 27. To refuse honors, to submit to insults with goodwill, to despise himself and welcome disparagement, to bear all adversity and loss, and to desire no kind of prosperity in this world. And if you trust in your own strength, you will be unable to achieve any of these things. But if you trust in the Lord, you will be given strength from heaven, and the world and the flesh will become subject to your will. Neither will you fear your enemy, the devil, if you are armed with faith and signed with the cross of Christ.